What was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town.
Damn.
They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. The whole band's back together. We got everybody here except for Joe Ponton. He's now sick.
Oh, man, it's going around.
But we got the core four here. We've got a Dennys, we have a Beck, we have a Vickie, and we are ready to get into it. It's Halloween time, bitches.
Popping and popping.
Now, do you guys know who Jamie Lee Curtis is? She's the queen of Scream back in the day. She did a ton of horror movies. She's the one that is the main woman in Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a little clip she wants to let everybody know. She wants to talk to y'all about something.
All right.
It's Halloween, but I've heard Christmas music. It's happening, people.
This is my favorite time of year. I love October and I love Halloween. Vickie, are you a Halloween fan?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Halloween fiend.
I would rather. My goal in life is to get that full-size Michael Myers, and I want him to stay on my porch year-round. So I just change out. So, like at Thanksgiving, he's choking out a turkey. He's stabbing an elf at Christmas.
Pretty good.
Stuff like that. I just literally want to keep him on my porch all year round.
Stabbing Cupid. Oh, I love it, Vickie. That's very good. You should
maybe
do that.
Behead. Well, he's like $300, so.
Damn, behead. You want to behead Cupid?
Well, you get what you get.
That's a statement against love, Beckett. What are your thoughts on that?
A Halloween or Cupid?
Or just the fact that Vickie wants to
Statement
decapitate.
Love.
Cupid pulled back your bow, right?
I guess.
Release an arrow from the quiver.
Vickie, you did a walkthrough of my house when you first got here without really talking about the whole singing ghost that I have in my closet, which is the new update. That's what we're going to kind of open up the show with. People are going, hey, has Vickie heard the audio of what would be a spirit singing where I thought it was coming from my closet? Now, when I'd walk to my closet, it's kind of like where you can't find a sound. You hear it and then you go and you think it's in front of you, but it's now behind you. That was kind of the feeling that I had. This is the clip, Beckett. You haven't heard it yet. There's been something going on here. A lady in white has appeared. It's been the last, I would say, about 10 to 14 days she's been appearing. She's very quick, very fleeting. You see her, and then she walks into the wall or near the closet area. This is the audio that I heard roughly around the same time I saw her walk into the wall. Hello? Hello?
I had it way cranked so you could hear it.
There's no doubt that there's something there. People have been emailing me going, oh, it's a TV, it's this or that. I'm telling you right now, I know my electronics. I know how everything works in this house. This was late at night. There was nothing else going on. I recorded that. I have some shitty video, but there's nothing there other than, the video and the audio is pretty much the same thing. It's me walking around and then you hear that. Vickie, thoughts?
Well, number one, I wanted to tell people that I've been here multiple times, and you don't hear outside noise unless you open your front door. Like right now, we're in one of your front rooms that is on the road where people would be passing by. There's neighbors everywhere. I have yet to hear anybody from the outside. So I want to eliminate that as a possibility because your windows do their job.
Yeah, they're hurricanes. It's very sealed in here.
Yeah.
To your point. It's very rare to hear anything that clear, too. That sounds as if that's inside something.
Yeah. That definitely sounds like, it doesn't sound like it's playing from anything inside your house. I know that when I walked in, there was somebody right on top of me. So
please go on about that because we were having a conversation and then your eyes rolled back in the middle of a conversation and you kind of went like that.
Yeah.
She
not
did.
exactly that way, but
to me, it looked like
I kind of did the cockeye thing.
You were
like
making faces and kind of doing. It's such an old reference. Joe Cocker. He used to sing like you are so
Yeah.
beautiful, and he'd do this weird
Yeah.
thing. That's what it looked like
Yep.
to me.
Yeah, I remember I asked my brother because he was much older than me. I'm like, "Is there something wrong with him?" And my brother said, "No, he's just fucked up."
Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
It's called cocaine.
Yeah. So I walked through, and as soon as I got in the pathway there in front of your sink, you know, the pathway that you would take from the studio to your bedroom and around, I was like, that's when I started with the twitching. I went around the counter to your kitchen. Somebody was like right on top of me. Like I had like chills from, you know, my head all the way down. Then I moved over to your piano area in front of your laundry. And that's where I discovered what you have new going on here in particular. You definitely have an open vortex now.
Great.
Congratulations.
Opened it up.
We did it, baby.
I knew I felt a draft.
Goes out to vortex.
I've been working so hard to get this vortex open. It's nice
Oh, you did
to
it.
get the grand opening. Very, very good.
Yeah, you did it. And it's right there in front of the laundry, in front of the piano.
Now, in your opinion, is that voice part of the vortex?
She might have come through there since you have an open one, or there's a possibility that you somehow drew her into the house, and when she came through, she didn't close the door behind her, and that's where that open vortex is.
I've spoke about this often to you off the microphone and on the microphone. I really do believe the spirits going on here, especially in the last 6 or 7 months, have been connected to music. I don't know if I'm right. It's a strong, intuitive feeling that I have and I can't shake, but I do feel music and these spirits are without a doubt connected. It's a new word, connected. When my feeling's this strong, do you as a psychic tend to believe me as the person being here going, I think it's connected to music, Vickie?
Yeah, and you live here, and I even said to you, why don't we do an experiment, and you stop listening to this type of music, and you told me, actually, you had stopped for a while, and then when you went back to it, that's when the activity increased, so you actually did your own experiment.
Dennys, your thoughts? Do you think I listen to a lot of 1930s old-timey music, and do you ever get a feeling of uncertainty or unease?
I don't, but I mean, I think you attract old-timey ghosts with your music choice, definitely. But I mean, I don't know. I don't personally get any weird vibes here. I have been in places where I do get weird vibes.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I visited I think it was an old prison in San Antonio or something, and it was underground. It was very dank, and there's, you know, the walls were kind of wet from just being underground, and that had a very eerie feeling, and supposedly many people were tortured down there to death. So it has I mean, that would be a type of place where I'd feel you could feel the impact of negative energy.
Mr. Beckett, you came into this podcast, not today, but the overall project, as a naysayer, the resident skeptic. We feel like we've kind of turned you a bit. You hear all these tales. Are you team ghost or team, I need to hear more?
Team, I don't want to hear more because it's scary. Definitely way more open-minded to it. I don't know if that's considered a EVP per se, but it's for sure, since I've been with you guys, the most clear version of anything I've heard. And it doesn't sound like I can hear the music in the background playing whatever. It just distinctly sounds like a human.
Yeah,
This is a quiet house.
I
too.
agree. And the one knock I get, Vickie, and I think people need to kind of understand this part of the whole process. They go, well, you're not supposed to investigate your own shit without Vickie, blah, blah, blah. Look, y'all, if I hear a ghost singing from my fucking closet, I'm grabbing the camera or the audio, and I'm going to record it. That's not necessarily doing an investigation. That's me just documenting something.
Right, and technically it's not an EVP because he audibly heard it. So
it's
he
not
could
picked
hear
up.
it at the time, and that's when he grabbed his phone, so that doesn't classify. An EVP is something that is put on the recorder, but you don't actually hear it at the time.
So it's inaudible. Even though it's a electronic recording, it's inaudible.
Correct, to our ears, it's
Got it,
inaudible.
got it.
So what would you call a sound that is audible?
I just call it an audible.
And that, have you experienced that before?
Yes, and what's strange is I'm actually glad that you were able to catch it. We've been on investigations where we have, every single one of us has audibly heard something, whether it's like a huge bang or if it's a voice. And when we go back to review the recorders, it's actually not there, even though the entire group witnessed it at the same time. So I'm glad that you actually have it on recording.
Yeah, I just think that what's been going on lately in my personal life. There's been some stuff going on. I started to get back to the old-timey music. All of that kind of does, if I had to do my own mental investigation, it all kind of coincides with what's been going down. And I might have asked you this before. Can music really conjure up spirit?
Anything that someone enjoyed when they were living, if they come across someone who's alive now and they make that connection to it, you have people who have passed on who were drug addicts and alcoholics. They're going to hang out with drug addicts and alcoholics because they're going to try to get high again.
I don't know if this is going to make sense at all, but the feeling I get sometimes is the only way I can explain it is when I feel something going on is that there's a jealous feeling. There's I don't know. There's a jealousy feeling when the spirit's walking around as if it's an ex-girlfriend. I'm not shitting you. And I'm struggling with that. I'm hoping you can maybe give me some insight. Am I fucking crazy?
Well, we're not
Yes.
gonna. You notice how I skirted that? I started off something else. We're not going to say what I was saying out loud.
Maybe in layman's terms, can you? Or maybe
I think there's going to be physical interaction with what's here and somebody coming over here.
If you're talking about me and a chick that I'm romantically involved, if I get the feels, or
Well, if you're going to go ahead and blow the wad, then I'll go ahead and say what I predicted. I mean,
blow the wad.
no
blow the
pun
wad.
intended.
That's a double entendre.
I do. When you're talking about the jealousy feeling, I do get that. And I think that at some point, if you have a female that this female spirit considers rivalry, competition, I think that they are going to physically get scratched.
Do you think that me and the ghost and the girl can be in a throuple? That's the new buzzword, Dennys. Everyone's talking about it. I'm just kidding. That's
A
not-
ghost throuple.
You should start molding some clay with your girlfriend and see what happens. From
Ghost
the back.
style?
Or go on a subway and see if someone yells at you.
I'm not sure if I want to put that on my dating profile. If you come over, you might get scratched.
There you go.
Although you would probably get a lot of hits if you put at the bottom, my house might be haunted.
Yeah.
I think there is a type of person that, I don't know.
I don't know. I think by the end of the podcast, we could have a list of 20 women that are willing to come over.
Right, let's get it popping, Vic.
I have a question that I thought about when you first started describing the interaction. You said white dress, I believe. Is there any symbolism with color? Because, in humans, white's supposed to be purity, right?
Sure.
So does that come through in spirits at all, the colors?
I mean, honestly, it depends on the time period that they're from. A lot of these women they're still wearing attire that they would have in life. And a lot of, depending on the time period, they had white nightgowns. So it's not atypical to see a woman in white.
Yeah, and I'm not at all trying to be, oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
You think that was the ghost?
I don't know, but I got to change this fuck. You know what?
Did the chair break?
Yeah,
You want this one?
Well, we got like 10 of the
It's
same
got
chairs.
this one's got a loose leg, and if you go to the right, it fucking
This one
bucks
does
you.
too. If you watch me, you see
it was
me
a good
rock.
save. I went on a jog this morning with my friends, and I hit one of those little up by 2 inches seam in a sidewalk.
Oh, it's-
something that
and you go-
now that I'm 40, something in the past that I totally just brush it off with my next step. Right?
Yeah.
I had hubris, and I was like, oh, next step, fall. And then I couldn't get my feet under me. I almost went down. I was like, I'm getting old.
Were you podcasting live in front of people? 'Cause
No.
I was busting my dick.
I don't think anyone noticed.
No one noticed. Yeah, but the lady in white, it's new, it's recent, and it's quick. I'll see her. I'll be watching TV, and I'll just see something that looks like a person very quickly walk and disappear into either the laundry area or now it's not been a lot. It's been a couple times,
Right.
and it's been recent.
Well, on Saturday, I actually get my new equipment back from the client that I was recording their house remotely, and I watched it on the phone, so I'm going to get that equipment back on Saturday. So whenever you're ready,
I'm listening. I'm sorry, were you distracted there? Yeah. I'm listening.
yeah, we'll get it set up, and we'll see what we can catch.
You said it earlier. Do you think music would be the biggest attractor of all ghosts? Because, like you said, if a drug addict becomes a ghost and haunts a place, he's likely to haunt a place that is familiar to him. But music almost transcends that in the sense that everyone likes music. Furthermore, I met
Yeah,
one
most
kid
people.
in my life who
My
did
mom
not.
didn't like music.
I met
at
a
all.
person who said, it's whatever. If it has a beat, I'll tap my
Yeah.
foot.
No, the only thing she
know,
ever
I thought it was
did,
on.
Interesting.
my dad played bluegrass music in a band, and she would go and listen to him in the band when they were playing. But she never turned on the car radio. She never owned a record. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like Coco. that
And everybody
movie.
else in the family is like very musically oriented. Not
odd.
her.
I don't get that when people, because you're right, Dennys. There are some people who don't give a shit
It's
about
just-
music at all.
Yeah, it's just whatever to them.
I go, yeah, I like music. I heard something back in the 90s.
That one song's good. I like that
Yeah.
song.
No, there's something for everyone.
That's what. There's just so many facets.
And it
to
goes
music.
back in human biology for
Rhythm.
millions of years.
The human body reacts to rhythm.
On that tip, I was going to say the two resident skeptics, Dennys and I, if I remember correctly, like one of the things that we vibe on is vibrations and frequencies and all that. So, maybe a bridge far, but I think that it's interesting that music can attract certain kinds of spirits potentially and whatever. To me, that makes sense.
It makes sense to me as well.
Well, I feel music sometimes can be a drug-like feeling.
Oh yeah.
There's times where music
and on
can.
drugs is the best. I mean, just
Well,
saying.
think about it just on like a simple thing. You don't listen to I love Frank Sinatra. I love it when I'm drinking wine and chilling out and whatever, but I'm not listening to Sinatra at the gym. I'm listening to Linkin Park at the gym. It's a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
First of all, when I go to the gym, I go to the Jim Romano, the guy I gave my kidney to. But if I am working out, I run to a lot of soft, easy listening
Really?
show. Kevin can't believe my playlist when I'm doing.
Because Kevin's like you, it has to be an aggro list.
I gotta be thinking about, man, what the fuck does he mean about that lyric? Yeah, I get that. As I'm running.
Yeah, so if I'm jogging, I can go podcast. I can go light music. I can go podcast because I'm more like in my breath and it's longer. If I'm trying to pump out some reps at the gym, it's got to be Linkin Park.
Oh, if my bro is doing fucking buys and tries, he's doing Megadeth.
Yeah. Well, think about it. If you're at the Dolphins game, sports game, like what do you think they want to do to pump up the stadium? Do you want to play?
Yeah.
You're going to play something that's
Hype.
stirs it up.
I wonder what would work. Fire and Rain by James Taylor or whatever,
Jock jams.
or Jock Jam.
Fire and Rain would be a rough song to get hyped to. Although I do love that song.
So Vickie, let's wrap up this segment with the ghost area where you want to investigate, and you definitely think there's a new portal going on here.
Oh yeah, you definitely have an open portal. Yeah.
I consider that a win, Dennys. I love it. It's great.
The
We're gonna
vortex is happening.
try to get more audio, more video. That's the goal of this whole thing, right?
It's gonna be
Yeah.
like 13 ghosts up in here.
I mean,
I'm here for it.
my only
We should
goal.
get glass walls that we write inscriptions on, I guess.
Okay.
That's what they did in that to contain the ghost in the walls, because ghosts can go through walls. So you
Look,
ever see 13 Ghosts?
I have not.
You haven't?
That one was pretty solid, I
I
thought.
s-
It's
that was a
remake.
really good one.
The original one is
What's it called?
pretty awful. 13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts.
I saw 30 going on 13.
30
No.
going on 13
It's all
Ghosts. It's got Matthew Lillard.
16 candles.
16 calories is good too. It's all good stuff. I think with all that said, Vickie, we're going to definitely delve into more of the ghost stuff. But now it might be time for some.
Dennys.
No. It was going to be Ask Vickie. Ask Vickie. We got a lot of questions for you, Vickie.
Okay.
3. These
a
are
thruple word.
these are questions that the KVJ Nation they want to know. They want to get the answers. Vickie, Heidi asks this: when you're doing psychic readings, does anyone ask you if they get a vision of how they're going to die?
No, no one has asked me that.
Wow.
Really?
Interesting.
I kind of find that odd, right?
No, no one has ever asked me that.
Yeah, Bird, come on.
Well, can you maybe conjure up some feelings? How's the bird gonna die?
They have asked me how someone else or the timeline that someone else is going to die, and unfortunately, I have been accurate in that. But no one has asked for themselves.
Can you do me a favor, Dennys?
I'll ask.
Can you ask Vickie when I'm gonna die and how it's gonna happen? Go ahead.
It's going to be in that vortex.
Well, I'll write it down on a piece of paper, and then I'll burn the paper, and then I'll tell you. I'll make it, give it some fanfare.
You think I'm gonna die in the vortex? Well, shit, I would love that. It's all worth it if I
What
die
if
in
you
the vortex.
walked into it, and we come here, and all we can hear is your voice. You're in the
Yeah.
walls.
I mean, Dennys, that would be kind of like a Carol Ann poltergeist
Yeah.
situation.
Absolutely.
We'd have the best podcast in all the land. We'd have
Yeah.
just Jaybird floating up in the atmosphere
Right.
on the mic.
In the wall, Dennys by the cliff.
Yeah.
Dennys by That's some shit, Dennys. I like that. You seen Poltergeist, Beckett?
Yes.
All right.
I think we all seen Poltergeist here.
Sue's seen Poltergeist.
I believe he did.
When I was a kid,
It's his. I mean, he's seen a Halloween movie each Friday. This
Yeah, I
week.
know. I was listening to his review.
I'm
and all the
excited.
ones he hasn't seen.
Which is
What rock
every-
has he been under?
He's never.
He's young. He's surprisingly
But-
young.
still,
but here's the thing, though. I was young too when a lot of those old ass. I mean, they were already past their time after I watched
Same
them.
here.
I still watched them.
No.
I did the work.
My son is 19 and my daughter is 20. No, he's 20. And my daughter's 22. And they have seen all, of course, I'm their mother, but they've seen all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and you-
there's no excuse for
And you're
Sue.
scared curious. Like for me,
you are.
I'm scared curious.
Yeah.
You think I am?
Love hauntings and all stuff.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. I avoid feeling scared. Like I just
Like
honest.
Kevin,
I
that's the same thing he does.
yeah. I avoid
But-
being scared.
So I avoid being scared too, but I don't get scared. Ghosts, spirits, they don't scare me. Murder doesn't scare me unless the murderer's in my house trying to kill me.
For sure.
I find it interesting. I like to learn about it. It doesn't scare me. Now, there's shit that does scare me that probably doesn't scare you that I would stay away from. I think it's a all different dance for everybody.
It is-
Ghosts do not scare me.
It is a different dance. I guess what a better word would be for me to say and more accurate is I don't like being disturbed. Like I'm not scared.
You'll watch scary movies.
I'm not scared,
and
but I'm
horror docs.
disturbed. Like when I'm disturbed, I'm uneasy. Like I'm not scared, but I'm.
See, I
It
like
was
that
disturbing.
disturbed.
It was
I like being disturbed. I like dark comedy.
Like when you see something,
I
you're
like dark content at times if it's done the right way.
Absolutely.
That I like. You know.
See, it takes a lot to scare me or unnerve me or make me disturbed, but I have to admit, I only got through maybe half or 3/4 of the first episode of Dahmer.
Oh,
I couldn't do it.
I hear it.
Me too, though.
I couldn't do
I
it.
did it for different reasons.
Really?
I'm the only motherfucker on the microphone going, Dahmer was slow paced. The guy was a great actor. I am not at all. The guy, he did a great, phenomenal
yeah,
job.
That's what all the reviews say.
But do I think he reminded me of Dahmer personally? I don't think he reminded me of Dahmer at all. That's just me, and I know I am the only person saying that, and I can die on that hill, Denny.
what the review said is why, and they gave a bunch of other examples in addition to Dahmer, and in a way, I hate to sound like that corporate guy, but like it was a money grab because I didn't watch it, but from what I understand, there's no conclusion at the end of the thing. It's just like a re-shining of a light on the crazy tragedies that happened, right?
Yeah, no, look, when it comes to all that stuff, I really do struggle personally because I know I'm a hypocrite. I do not think Jeffrey Dahmer or any of these serial killers need all this shine. We did a bit today. These are the serial killer's favorite songs of all time. We're talking about John Wayne Gacy. And I get it. It's part of the game and people want to talk about it and it's entertainment. I do. I get all of that. I really do. But the spiritual side of me goes, fucking A, man. If you're the parent of a John Wayne Gacy victim or a Jeffrey Dahmer victim, this is so fucked.
Yeah.
It
It's
really
very
is
tough.
fucked. But I get it. If you're not involved in a situation, you lose empathy a bit. And I'm not over here trying to be on my holy hill. I like watching that shit. But is it right? And I don't know if it is. I don't know if Jeffrey Dahmer needed a fucking Netflix special.
No.
Where now girls on Twitter going, Dahmer's kind of low-key hot. I don't know if he fucking deserves that
He's a
shit.
zaddy.
Yeah, it disgusts me.
That's horrible.
But I also wanted to watch it and see what the fuck is going. And
For sure.
Well, that's just society not being tone deaf because if you see it, like people, kids, adults for that matter, sometimes emulate things, right? And they're like, oh, well, this guy had a show. If I die, like I'll be famous. You know, people, not a lot of people, but some people have that perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just bad to put that out there, in my opinion.
In modern day times, they always say, "Oh, does the copycat stuff happen? And does the media have any kind of influence on stuff?" Back in the day, I didn't think it did. But when you are giving shine to people who are a loner, they're loners. They never would have anything going on ever, and this might be the avenue they go, and they're a little off. Yeah, I can see how it could influence people. I'm not saying that I'm right. It's just a feeling that I have.
I try not to be too sensitive to things because, the way society is, but I saw a T-shirt that someone had posted online. There's a line in a Woody Allen movie that's said by Alan Alda, and he said, comedy is tragedy plus time. And this T-shirt combines two serial killers, and I'm sorry, one of them was prolific in the 70s, and I don't think there's been enough time. I wanted so badly to comment and say, take that thing off of Facebook, and I hope there's nobody buying the shirt.
It kind of comes down to hashtag be cool. Yeah, I get it. Everyone's got the right to talk about whatever they want and make whatever they want. But the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer, like the family, they're all saying this whole thing has caused them so much pain and tragedy. It just makes you go, as a society, look at the mirror.
You just feel bad.
Are we doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a question to ask the people.
So I think you highlighted my feelings. I have the right to drink this whole bottle of Jameson, but it's not the right thing to do for obvious reasons,
Yeah,
right? I might have a
exactly.
shot with you.
Exactly.
You know, so there's a
That's a
big
hint.
difference
That was
on
a hint, yeah.
it's a big difference.
happening.
It's a big difference on having the right to do something and it being the right thing to do.
It's kind of like that
Absolutely.
it's that person that goes, look, I speak the truth. I don't give a shit. I speak it no matter what. I'm going to keep it 100. Well, that's great. But you're also a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be a time where we kind of do the dance and read the room, so to speak.
You just ruined Grandma's last Thanksgiving because you had to speak 100. You know, like come on.
Great job. You spoke your truth and you won, I guess.
Yeah.
But did you?
Yeah, we're all losers here now.
I'm not saying you shouldn't speak. You shouldn't have those
Absolutely.
mic drop moments. I'm just saying there's times where, I don't know, is it the right time?
Yeah, have a little couth.
There's a tact to it.
Yeah, there is. All right, ask Vickie question number 2. Are people with anxiety and depression issues more likely to see paranormal activity?
They may be experiencing the anxiety and those kind of issues because they're actually an empath, which means they have ability, which means thereby they could experience more activity.
Okay, but let's say you're a person, you're a tough motherfucking trucker, and I never have anxiety, and I never have depression, and all of a sudden this person's seeing ghosts. Depression, anxiety, is there not really a correlation to that? Or is it kind of every situation is different?
Everybody is different, but like I said, the only correlation is there are a lot of people who have the depression and anxiety and don't realize it's not chemically based. It's because they're an empath and they are picking up on all the spirit world that's overwhelming them and causing that anxiety.
So even the Tommy tough shit trucker could be an empath, but he grew up being gotta be tough, gotta be
Right,
tough.
right.
And I use the most basic term, or example, trucker.
Very masculine, very manly.
Very masculine. Has seen some shit in his time or her time.
That'd be a tough job.
Because the skeptic could argue that if someone has anxiety and they start seeing ghosts and stuff, it's just because they're a nervous Nelly and they're just like creating things in their mind. So that's what a skeptic would say. But I have found a lot of people that are empaths have depression and anxiety.
Interesting.
It's because it's not their own feelings. They're absorbing way too many other emotions from other
To
people.
Vickie's point, I was in a long-term relationship, and the girl used to say I was her. What's the anxiety medication? Percocet or
Xanax?
Xanax. I was her Xanax, and she meant it as a compliment, right? Because she had panic attacks and all that, and in our relationship, she was more evened out. But the way my brain thinks, because I've been accused of being an empath, right? To Vickie's point, and I thought about it because you understand physics. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I was like, where's that going? I'm like, I feel stressed, right? And I felt like I was absorbing it, and I had to reevaluate the whole relationship because, she'd come home stressed out, because of work or this thing happened or whatever. And I'm more of like a solution-based guy, and I care. So I had asked questions about it, and then I felt like it was kind of eroding me a little bit. And I was
Well, it
like,
does.
Yeah.
It does. People, people have to tuck in their crazy. Everybody does. You have to understand and be self-aware at times. I'm not saying you can't be open to people and talk to them, but if you're a person that every single day you walk into a room and you're the reason why the mood changes,
Right.
that's something you got to look within, and a lot of people don't realize that. That's where self-awareness comes in. Someone like that, all of their pain and all of their issues, that's their only focus, and it does. It's a life sucker, and I'm not at all saying that person is a terrible person, but that's the reality. They are a mood sucker, and you got to be careful.
I feel like I was like one disaster to the next. I was like, what is it going to be today?
And that's when people got to look within on themselves and say, I know I'm struggling with shit, but I probably need to tuck it in at certain times.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who are psychic vampires, and they don't even realize it, but they require so much energy because of their problems or because they're ADHD or all those kind of things. They have to get their energy from somewhere, and they take it from us. It's not intentional. But if you know that you're around a psychic vampire, if you've been with them for an extended period of time, and when you leave, you're flat out exhausted, but you have done nothing to really be exhausted, that person's a psychic vampire.
Damn.
Thoughts, Dennys? You hear all this shit?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it. I mean, so in a case with your ex, I mean, there's a person out there designed who wants to be in that position you're in where they want to give. I think you just have to find the right people, because some people really are just givers.
Some people are just takers.
And some people are just takers. And if they line up, I mean, then it's yin and yang there.
I see what you're saying, Dennys. There's a type of personality that would like to, baby, it's okay.
Absolutely.
Whatever the situation is. I can't believe they took your biscuit.
I wouldn't be able to, and as you felt like it was eroding you. I mean, some people are, I think it's just, there's a type of person for each type of person.
Well, you are a person that has a lot of stuff going on in your life. You're the type of person that is, you wake up, you exercise, you go out, you travel, you do shit. That's your being. To be with somebody that's going to suck all that away on a regular basis, well, it's not a fit.
Yeah, it's my own version of a succubus. Yeah, yeah.
And it's a good exercise, or at least a good thought to ask everybody, even listening right now. Am I a mood sucker? Do I walk into a room and suck out all the fucking joy and funny because I'm having the bad day?
Yeah. When my friends are being lame, I call them a fun sponge because they're soaking all the fun out of the room.
There's times where you want to have a heart to heart and you want to help somebody, but there's also a moment where you realize someone, that's just their being. If it's not this, it's going to be fucking that. And if it's not that, it's going to be another thing.
Totally.
And that is the psychic vampire.
It's perpetual, yeah. There's a condition. You rewire your brain. If you are constantly negative, it rewires your brain to automatically become negative. And it takes a lot of work to get out of that mindset.
And people don't realize they're even in that mode.
It's like grass growing. It takes years. You don't even notice it happening.
And then you get defensive if you call them out. Like you don't. I don't know if you're handling shit the right way. What the fuck do you mean, Beckett?
Yeah.
You privileged fuck.
Yeah. It's interesting because I had someone tell me this and I thought about it both literally and as a metaphor. If someone's standing up like on a wall and someone's standing actually on the ground, it's way easier for that one person on the ground to pull the person off the wall than it is for the person to pull them up on the wall. Yes. So if you have a dynamic and you're saying, oh, what dynamic's going to win? The positive, the good, whatever, the negative, whatever. Not to say to sound defeatist, but it's more likely, in my experience anyways, and probable that the person will pull the person down rather than pull the person up.
Takes more work.
Yeah.
We all have that one person that we all know. Hey, we got free tickets to Disney World. It's all paid, food, everything. It's going to be a great time. Do you know Disney World, blah, blah, blah? And they're going to give you some fucking depressing factoid and complain about some bullshit.
You know about Walt Disney, right?
Or, really, it's going to be 2 days and not just one. It's
You know there's a rainstorm coming.
Debbie Downer. I'm not saying we all don't have that Debbie Downer inside us, but God bless America. Read the room.
Just try to check it. Every now and then you just got to snap out of it.
That's right.
Because it can happen to everybody.
It can. Oh, look, I get it. Everyone can be negative. Everybody can. I think you got to...
Yeah, it's hard. You gotta work to get away from it.
Yeah.
Ask Vickie, can a ghost theoretically get a human pregnant? You know that for a fact.
Well, you'd have to have tangible something. So if you're saying get pregnant, obviously the living person is the female. You'd have to have a physical manifestation of sperm in order for that to happen.
Well, let me turn the tables here. Let's say my lady in white wants to have a night of just pure ecstasy with Dennys.
Yes.
And
She's in the wrong house.
she...
Sorry, I had J-Bo.
Cut him off. Cut him off.
You gave it to him.
Fucking workhorse. Workhorse in the bedroom. Could theoretically, I or a Beckett or a Dennys get a ghost pregnant?
Theoretically, if there was an invisible balloon here, could you pop it? No, probably not, because it's not tangible.
All right. I like it.
That one I will go out on the limb and say no, just because you're talking about something that is not physically.
It's
here,
like the 60s, the summer of love. You can just have at it.
I think this summer of love.
He was really just asking for permission.
Look, I didn't grow up in the summer of love, and it seemed awesome that summer. But after that summer, I feel like, I don't know, we had a big STD thing.
Yeah.
You can't fuck a bunch of people in a field and expect it all to be cool.
The universe always balances itself.
Always.
It does.
If it's the best orgy ever, it ain't the best orgy
It's the
ever.
opposite reaction. Yeah.
Someone always gets left out.
Yeah. Dear Weird and Whatever, deja vu is the subject. My 14-year-old daughter keeps complaining about something which sounds a lot like deja vu. She has researched what the term means, and she says, Mom, that's exactly how I feel. I personally have experienced deja vu a lot myself, and nobody in my family ever has but my daughter. What do you all think? Is deja vu some type of spectrum people feel? I do feel that. I feel like everything's a spectrum. I think
For sure.
some people are more of an empath. I think some people are more go-getters. I think some people work harder than others. I think some people are more creative. There's a whole spectrum of more people being sensitive. I do think that. I think deja vu could easily fall in that category. Vickie, thoughts?
I think it all depends on what you think the origins of deja vu. So again, like you're saying, on the spectrum, if it is precognition, in other words, you have dreamed about that event or you have been shown that event in a vision, definitely there's going to be people who are more gifted in that and experience. I was looking at the comments because you had posted it, and I was looking at a lot of the comments, and one of the common things that I noticed, and it applies to me too, they had deja vu more when they were younger, but it tapered off a bit as adults. And I found that interesting. That's the way it's been with me. When I was younger, I always had deja vu.
Why do you think that
And now I
is?
very seldom. I don't know, but if it's tied to psychic ability, think about it. When you're younger, you're more open psychically. And so that may be the cause of why more children have it as opposed to adults.
Now, for a person like myself who is open to all this shit, I get deja vu kind of a lot. I really do. Does that explain why I would? Because I'm more open to that?
Yes, it could.
Okay. Do you ever get it, Beckett?
Yeah.
You get a lot?
Every once in a while. You know, it's interesting that I'm comparing these two things, but they correlate in that when I'm not drinking or doing anything like that, I dream way more vividly. And deja vu happens way more vividly.
In your regular life, walking around.
That's right.
Yeah, I can maybe see that because you're at your purest state. You don't have anything kind of clouding you. I do think clouding if you're drinking a little bit or you're smoking weed or whatever, you're not.
It numbs you off, right?
It numbs you off.
That's the pro and the con of it. And, I bring it up probably too often, but the ayahuasca, they made us fast on everything that is a dopamine hit in our brain.
For how long?
I think it was at least 2 weeks.
Whoa.
There was no porn, no sex, no alcohol, no nothing, because they want you to come in raw.
Sounds a little sexual, Becky. Vickie, I'm sorry you're sitting so close to it, Becky. When he says the word raw.
PG-13, Beckett.
This is not PG-13.
No control.
I know. With that said, and by the way, we do have other people talking about the ayahuasca. There's more questions I want to get into. We can do that next podcast, maybe kind of do a little ayahuasca Beckett kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I just sent some friends to the same church. 3 people went, and they had a amazing experience.
Where's that church at?
It's out in Clewiston.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Ayahuasca and Clewiston.
Yeah.
What could go wrong, Vickie?
Right?
They're staying at the Clewiston Inn?
It's actually nice. It's like 5 or 10 acres. You got little bungalows you spend the night in, and it's South American church, which is what makes it legal because it has to be around a religious ceremony.
Vickie, any way you would do ayahuasca with the Weird and Whatever crew together?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you do it, Dennys?
I don't know if I would do the ayahuasca.
I mean, is there a sweat lodge involved?
No.
I would.
Okay, I'm in.
Because sometimes they do that where you trip and you're in the sweat lodge.
Right.
No.
No sweat lodge.
I would, without a doubt, do it with y'all. I want the fucking answers.
It would be a ripping podcast afterwards. I can just tell you that.
Oh, it would be 3 hours. And this is why I feel this way, Beckett.
There'll be some tears, a bunch of reflecting. It's crazy what it does.
Well, I think with all this said, it might be time for some
Dennys.
Oh, jeez.
Vickie. Dennys random facts, everybody. Dennys does a great job just really hunting, searching for these factoids on the internet, books of old time, Beckett. My man, I saw him in an encyclopedia from the 70s. He gets all these factoids. Vickie, our educator, she grades him. If she loves it, she gives him an A. If she hates it, she's been known to give the F or throw the D. Dennys, the floor is yours.
The raw D.
Right. So I tried to find some real random ones for you. In ancient Greece, they believed redheads became vampires after death. So after they were dead, they would stab them to make sure that they wouldn't be resurrected as vampires. And this was because that they had red hair and pale skin compared to the olive skin and dark features. The word they use for it is Vicolakas. Kind of a very cool.
Yeah, humans are the biggest dicks. I mean, we're so
that makes
fucked.
no
Yeah.
sense.
I don't understand why redheads get picked on so much.
I am so
I don't
attracted
know.
to redhead women. I really they call me
History has
creepy.
not been kind to them as much as the.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to say you're attracted to anybody anymore. If you're considered creepy or
Hey, you never know.
HR is gonna call something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never gotten. I don't get it, man.
I don't get it either.
I had the biggest crush on a girl with red hair named Holly back in elementary school. I still think about her. Where's Holly at? Where's she at? Is she married?
It's a good question.
I forgot her last name.
Maybe
So-
she's listening. What would you like to say?
Holly, I always had a crush on you. And I still think about you. Am I close? Go ahead. Vickie, what do you think?
I'm gonna, it's pre-Halloween. You managed to throw vampires in there, and you said a word with an accent. I'm gonna give you an A.
Ooh.
Whoa.
That one was so random. I had to
Keep
grab
in
it.
mind, Vickie was off last week. She's
Yeah, she
feeling
was.
nice.
True.
I love the day.
And I didn't have cafeteria duty today, so I'm in a better mood.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
he has
There you
a
go.
really good shot
Yes.
today.
I'd be the nicest dick during cafeteria duty.
I sometimes get aggression out. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I'd be smacking kids all the time. Let's see here. So, what do you guys think about this practice? And I'm usually down with a lot of the Buddhist monk stuff, but I don't know about this one. Between the 11th and 19th centuries, a number of Buddhist monks successfully mummified themselves. They adopted a practice in which they would gradually wean themselves off of food and water to the point where they would starve themselves for 1,000 days. At the end of it, restfully becoming a mummy at the end. It was considered a way to achieve true enlightenment back in the 11th century. But you wean yourself off food and water up until the point you just cease to exist.
Wow.
How random.
Vickie, thoughts?
That's depressing.
It's
super
real.
depressing.
Real on a Friday night.
Like I said, I'm Friday light.
It sounds like that.
I know it's not Friday. It's
sounds-
Friday Eve.
Friday light.
It sounds
yeah.
like that. What was that constellation group that committed mass suicide when the comet was going by?
Oh, was it
Haley Bob?
Was that was that David Caruso?
Oh yeah, I believe.
Yeah. Where they're basically just agreeing to do a slow suicide.
Yeah,
Right?
but it was built into their belief system then that you could successfully wean yourself into a mummified state.
Wow.
I mean, I don't like it.
I don't like it. That's what I said. I'm usually cool with the Buddhist monk stuff. I don't know about that.
Oh no, you just brought the room down. It's a D.
Oh, D for
down.
depressing.
Yeah.
Depressing. Here, this one's a little more fun. Abraham Lincoln was actually a licensed bartender. In 1833, he opened up a bar called Barry and Lincoln with his friend. They were doing great at first, but Barry became a raging alcoholic and consumed all of the supply.
Never get high in your own supply.
Wouldn't you love to hear audio of Abe trying to talk to his friend going, dude, look, I want to really make this work, but you're drinking the profits. You're being an asshole. I'm trying to fucking get shit done.
Yeah.
Yes.
1833.
I would do anything for that audio. Because Abe had to have said something to him.
He rolled up his sleeves, sat down, pulled up a stool.
Abe, I think, was a man who didn't mince his words.
No,
No,
he
absolutely.
had to be honest with him.
Very good. Very good.
Well, I'm a low-key Lincoln fan, so you're back up to an A.
Very nice.
I'm a high-key Lincoln fan. You get A+, Dennys.
So I always like to throw one of these in because I like to watch your faces. But the ancient Romans often used stale urine as mouthwash. It was the main ingredient in urine, which was ammonia, acted as a powerful cleaning agent. In fact, it became such a high demand that they were paying taxes for it. They would use the the natural way. So if you're ever in the woods and you need some mouthwash, you can use your own urine.
I want to hire that salesperson.
I don't know, Vicky.
He went back down.
No,
Could you?
I threw one
I
of
mean,
those
it's up
things
and
in
down,
there.
up and down.
It's
No,
hilarious.
that's disgusting.
F.
D for disgusting.
All right, deep for
Okay.
disgusting and depressing.
Vicky.
So I teased Alexander the Great on the video before, and it's only because I thought this was so odd. And just to catch you up real quick, at the age of 25, his army overcame the Persian territories, Asia Minor, Syria, Egypt, without a single defeat. And he died at the age of 32. The weird part was he was actually buried alive. He didn't die. He suffered from a neurological disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome. And what it does is it paralyzes you for up to 6 days, but you're still mentally fully aware. So they entombed him and everything while he was all still mentally aware.
Wow.
It's pretty depressing, again, at the age of 32.
It's not a great way to die.
No, but, he did a bunch of great stuff, and then he gets buried alive.
Were you hanging out with Virginia before this podcast?
I just thought that was so random.
Well, that was depressing, but it was interesting. I'd never heard that, so you're back up to an A.
All right,
Ah.
let's see.
All right, Big D, give us
Let's
one
give
more.
a-
Something real salacious.
This was just, again, very random. The Bloody Mary wasn't actually originally called the Bloody Mary, the drink, the beverage. Originally, it was called Bucket of Blood. It was invented in 1921. And then after that, it was named the Red Snapper. And then just for the admiration of the Bloody Mary mythos, they named it the Bloody Mary after. But originally, it was called Bucket of Blood.
Wow.
He
was
just
it,
thought it
was
looked
that in
like a-
France?
Yes, it was. He thought it looked like a bucket of blood.
Hmm.
That's why they named it that.
Vicky?
Well, it is one of my favorite drinks. I know we hate Bloody
I
Marys.
like
but
Oh, I'm obsessed.
Bloody Marys are like one of my favorites. So, yeah,
They're the best hangover cure.
You can end with an A.
Well, there you go. I'm a Bloody Maria guy.
So what's the
It's
variation?
got to have tequila.
Bloody Marys
why?
are
That's how you
just-
get sick again.
I hate Bloody Marys.
I know you do, but
I hate them.
they're
Do you like
such a good-
micheladas?
What?
You like micheladas?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a Mexican beer with a little splash of bloody mix with a salted rim.
I
It's
don't. I think
fantastic.
the bloody mix is what you have the issue with, right? You don't like that spicy
I just
tomato.
it's thick. I'm trying to get a buzz. It's a.
You're not a
fucking-
spicy guy?
I hate spice. I'm the worst Italian on the planet. I've been told this by many Italians. You are the worst Italian.
Well, they got the wussy version too.
Yes, the.
The Mr. and Mrs. T's, they have the regular and they have the spicy. So
I'm just not down with the fucking.
You've never
V8.
been a fan of it.
I hate it. Let's change courses here. And by the way, great job, Dennys. Very nice. Here's a kind of a dating type of romance email, and we got some audio coming up. Kind of ties into it. Dear weird whatever. My girlfriend likes to take dumps with the bathroom door open. She just moved into my place, and I'm not gonna lie, she's starting to turn me off. I've asked nicely twice to not do that, but she still does. We've been together for 5 months, and she needed a place to stay, so I said, hey, you can stay with me. Would this bother y'all like it's bothering me? How do I handle that? I like her, but this is starting to make me look at her differently. Lance, and yes, that's my fake name.
why in the world does she keep the door open?
She says it makes her more comfortable. It was a very long email. Ashton Kutcher and Milo, what's her name?
Mila
Kunis.
Kunis,
Milo,
yeah.
Mila. I'm terrible at celebrity names. They've got a clip, too, that's out about opening the door and bathroom. Maybe they'll turn your opinion.
Honestly, we have no closed doors in our house. That includes the bathroom. For better or for worse, as a family and the kids have all kind of embodied bodily function as a very standard norm. And I never thought that I would be the person that was able to go to the bathroom with the door open. It doesn't matter if I closed it. It never made a difference. It was every 2 seconds. So I was like, oh, forget it. Just keep the damn door open.
All right, Beckett, you are a man that likes to speak on romantic issues.
So I didn't hear Mila Kunis there. I heard Meg from Family Guy, basically, right there is what I heard. I'll take it a step further. I've been in relationships where I give a tough time with peeing with the door open.
Me too.
Call me old-fashioned, but, you know, you got to keep a little romance, a little intimacy, and, you know, you hear a fire hose going in the bowl, and I'm like, what are we, truckers? Like, nothing against truckers, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, let's
brought up a lot.
like
Truckers.
I'm just like, come on, can we keep some intimacy? Like, can we have a little mystery here?
Yeah.
Like, like humans are psychological beings, and let's just be honest, intellectually honest about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
a deal breaker.
7 years married, and it happens, and your wife is dropping dumps left and right. The door's open,
And she won't listen to my feedback.
yeah. Is that the big D?
It's gonna go there. I'm gonna take her to counseling for it.
Dumps.
Imagine having to go to counseling.
I won't go nuclear right away.
I would be like,
Well, you're always nervous when you go to counseling. Is like, who's the counselor gonna side with? I feel like I win that. I feel like I win that argument. It's a very simple ask, right?
I
I
agree.
agree. It's a simple ask.
My stepmom said this about my dad. My dad's pretty OCD, pretty type A, kind of annoying with it, especially as he gets older, bless his heart. And he had a big thing about when you put the toilet paper on the roll, it's got to roll down. You can't have it where it rolls down from the back, upside down.
I agree.
And she was like, oh, it's kind of funny. Like, it doesn't matter. And she goes, well, Scott, why is it away? He goes, because it matters to me. Right. And going back to our earlier conversation about relationships, if you're in a throuple and your partner's cool with that, that's great. That works out for your relationship. And I'm totally cool with that, as you having a throuple. Like, that's fine. But if your partner, if something bothers you, and you voice it, unless it's beyond the pale and maybe it's a deal breaker for both of you. But if someone, it's very simple to slide a door 90 degrees. And it's very
Wow,
simple.
this is a hot topic, hot button for a Beckett. Vickie, I can't tell if you agree with Beckett or if you want to slap him.
I cannot stand body functions. When I was with my ex, I would plan any kind of major body function when he was playing golf.
Yeah.
So he wasn't even in the house.
Yeah.
So
Even when you were guys married?
yeah, I would wait until he went to go play golf.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is he an
I'm
avid golfer?
yes.
All right,
Thank
then
God.
That works out well.
Thank God.
I think an activity he does a lot.
He played every day in the morning.
And what's he gonna play chess?
And hopefully I get it in the afternoon.
And by the way, I'm not a hypocrite. I do the same thing. I don't do it. It's not like, she's my girlfriend and she can't do that and I can because I'm a guy.
yeah, no, I think-
I am mutually respectful. I'll sometimes turn the water on. Turn the vent, the vent on.
I
The
peel off
thing.
on the side so it
You
doesn't shoot
courtesy
right in.
flush. It's common courtesy.
I agree.
Okay, Denny's, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think with Becca, there needs to be some privacy. I think bodily functions, I'm not disgusted by them, but at the same time, I
it
think
happens, don't celebrate it.
yeah, exactly.
It happens, don't celebrate it.
Exactly.
It's not something you share.
No,
I
look,
think you should close the door.
I don't think any of us are fuddy-duddies. If your partner farts and has the farts, we're laughing about that. We're talking about someone who's dumping on the reg.
Babe, look at this article.
Talking to you.
Calls you in.
There's got to be a little... Yeah, private. I completely agree with y'all. Now, I'm not saying that families that do that. Y'all do. If you are comfortable, to your point, the throuple example, if everyone's comfortable with it, I get that. But even with that said, my mom was married to my dad for over a year. She wouldn't wait to take a dump until he went to his job, which is kind of insane to me. I mean, if
to preserve the romance.
Well, if you're keeling over, going, oh my God, I can't wait for Randy to leave. I got
Well,
the
if
worst
you're
poopy
shaking,
friend.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that shouldn't happen either.
Yeah.
There's got. I mean, we're a family, and we're gonna have some gross moments together. I completely, but I think there's also a time where you can go too far, and the romance. Sex part can go out the window, and maybe the older you get and the longer you're with that person, you're less likely to get upset about it. If you're in your 80s at that point, you're already both kind of gross anyway. Do you really care if the door's open?
Well, I'm the oldest one in the group, and I will take this to my grave. No, I don't want the door open. I don't want you around. I don't want to see you. I don't want you to see me. And that's the way I stand on it till I die.
Until I'm with you. I'm totally with everybody here.
I thought a while ago, me and my friends were sitting around. We thought of the worst game show ever. It's you go into a public restroom and you sit down and you're chilling, and then all the walls fall down and you're in the middle of a stage and everybody's watching. How crazy of a game show would that be?
I've seen that. I'll find it. I'll send it to you. I swear.
Really?
I swear.
What?
I'll send it to you.
There's no way.
I think it was.
There's no way it's real.
I think it was Japan.
Then it's can't. I don't know. They got some weird stuff over there. I'll tell you what. As far as their media goes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that would be mortifying, though.
Well, I appreciate all the feedback on the bathroom topic. You guys nailed it on that. Dear Weird and Whatever. We won't go into that. It's kind of negative.
Buddhist monks mummify themselves.
Such a positive vibe going on here. Let's play this clip. We are animal lovers here on the Weird and Whatever podcast. Did you guys see the after the hurricane, people rescued parrots?
Yes.
Isn't that cool? We have
Very
some
cool.
audio clip of them saving the parrots. Not parents, the parrots.
The parrot
I
tribe.
do love a very sweet animal clip. I like animals being saved. Although sometimes, have you ever seen that one clip where the sheep or the lamb is stuck in the wire and they're trying to cut it out? I can't watch it, man. It makes me so sad.
Brutal.
I'm such a pussy.
They free
I think it's
it.
healthy.
They free it, though.
I think it's healthy to have that reaction.
Yeah, you don't want to be liking that.
I'm happy. No, I don't want to like it, but I'm pushing for the lamb to get out of it, but I don't want to watch it. I can't take it fucking screaming.
No, it's horrible.
No, jeez. All right, here, let's listen to this clip.
We have a 4-boat operation going on today to rescue 100 cages of birds off the island before they die.
We're going to try to crate up as many parrots as we possibly can, get them to safety.
I have a 5-foot fence around the property, and the water was a foot over the fence. So if we had not captured all the birds and put them in crates and put them 12 feet up, we would have lost all of them.
Wow.
Damn, right?
Weird.
People don't. I shouldn't
even
say.
think about that.
Yeah, but you're right. So many people always think about the humans, as we should. But during a major hurricane like that, people got pets, and there's dogs and cats that get all fucked up. And
There's wildlife that gets effed up.
I know. Imagine being a little bobcat, just chilling on a bobcat date, and then a hurricane hits.
Yeah, I know animals are designed to be out in the elements, but you wonder during storms like that, it's got to be so awful.
Yeah.
Do you feel every animal has a sense something is happening?
Oh, for sure.
They feel. I bet they burrow. They collect food. They do all the regular.
Better than humans?
Oh, yeah.
It shows
yeah.
you the genius of an animal that we don't have.
Humans are weird. We won't follow our own guts. We'll know what we're supposed to do, and we won't do it. We're
Yeah.
one of the few that does that.
Go on with that
Well, I'm just
theory.
saying, we're one of the few animals that will do detrimental things to ourselves for whatever reason. We'll smoke. We'll drink.
And there's a voice going, stop, put
Well, you know it's wrong.
it
we
down,
have
bird.
Studies.
Put the whiskey down.
But I'm just saying, animals don't tend to do that stuff. You know, they're
They
not
go on
smoking
instinct.
cigarettes.
They go
yeah.
on pure instinct. Yeah.
They do things that tend to keep themselves alive.
Very-
Whereas we tend to do things that reduce our lives.
I think dolphins are the only ones that scientists have identified that have sex for pleasure.
It is true, yeah.
Yeah.
Elephants, though, they mourn the death of a loved one. They cry. They bury. I know I bring that fact up all the time, but that alone right there shows me we don't know a lot about animals. We think we do. Back in the 80s, they were such... I felt like...
Dude, 80s didn't give shits about
I
animals.
feel like growing up, people gave a fuck about animals, but there was definitely an attitude, fuck animals.
Oh, like shooting acid in rabbits' eyes.
Yeah, and I just, the
what
older
they do.
I've gotten, I realized, man, animals got a genius that the humans do not have, and we should recognize that.
They go through all the same emotions we do. A lot of times, because my daughter works at a shelter, and a lot of times she'll send me pictures of the animals. It's like, what do you think about this one? And like the one that she currently is fostering, when I saw his picture, I'm like, he's just depressed. He doesn't want to be at the shelter. So she took him home, and it's like night and day. Like when she takes him back, because she takes him back and forth to work sometimes, and when he gets back to the shelter, it's like, oh, woe is me. He comes home and he's like, da 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 da.
It's like Free Willy. Free Willy, right? You know, actually in captivity, if you remember the movie, their dorsal fins go down in captivity.
That's right. It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, the killer whales. And then when they go out, the dorsal fins go back up. So when my friends get married, I'm like, your dorsal fins down, Dave.
I love it, Vicky. I love it. Well, y'all, let's end the podcast with some Would You Rather and then the local artist. We're doing that tonight.
Fantastic.
Yeah, some Would You Rathers to just have a little levity at the end of the podcast. Would you rather wash your private parts for 10 minutes with the hottest hot sauce known to humans, or wash your hair with Clorox bleach for an hour?
Probably hair with bleach for an hour.
I mean, good luck, dog, not getting that in the old eyeballs. An hour is a long time to make
Better
some
than hot
mistake.
sauce on the balls.
Is it though?
Well, let's see.
I don't know. It's part of my game, the hair.
Bleach
So-
could be detrimental, right?
Yeah.
Can it
I
hurt
think
you?
bleach could
Yeah, I
blind
guess
you.
hot sauce is
For
just
an
painful,
hour,
and
yeah.
you get over it eventually. Hot sauce in the genitals.
Is that really what you're gonna go with? I mean,
Yeah.
just don't get that. Do not get the hot sauce in your Aretha Franklin, because I think it's over at that
Well,
point.
I think it gets everywhere, right? Are you dunking it?
Maybe it desensitized me and I become a superhero in bed. Always looking at the positive side. Not saying I'm not.
What are you going? You going with hot sauce peen?
Hot sauce. I like hot.
Clorox might kill you.
I like hot sauce.
Put it on your head like that.
I like hot sauce.
I mean, Vickie, hot sauce?
Hot sauce.
Really? And by the way, for the 10 minutes you're doing the hot sauce, you have to really explore every inch, inner and outer.
Well, now you just increase the time.
I don't know. I'm no doctor, as you guys know, but would the hardest hot sauce known to humans, would that really fuck up your privates badly?
Oh my gosh.
I think that the key is to not get in your Aretha
Well,
Franklin.
you have to. That's part of you have to get it everywhere, up and in, over and out. You all know what I'm all about.
You gotta pipette it.
You gotta pipette it. Whatever Denny says.
Yeah. You stick
My
it
God.
in there. It's terrible.
All right, Denny's is going with hot sauce.
I'm going hot sauce.
I'm still hot sauce.
Yeah.
I think I'm going hot sauce.
That bleach will probably poison you.
Yeah, I think you'll die from
Yeah.
it.
All right, well, this is why we have these convos. I love it.
I hope the situation never comes up.
I know.
That's a jigsaw.
If it
kind of
does,
thing.
you've pre-thought it out.
Yeah, you're right. I'm already prepared for it.
Ready?
Would you rather vote for an alien from another planet for president, or vote for a very advanced and intelligent robot for president?
Who are they running against?
Little
Don't answer that.
There's, you know what?
They're running against each other. That's why you have to make the choice.
Just you know,
So Alien, what was the second one?
An alien or a robot?
alien from another planet,
And the
or
robot is
very
AI.
It's very intelligent. It's very.
It's probably absolute, right? It's very absolute. In its
Do I get to hear a debate?
Yeah, you can hear the debate. But I'm not comfortable with too much knowledge. You kind of have to go on gut instinct. Is it the? No, you do not get to hear the debate.
You have to. You get the results.
It's either alien from another planet or a robot that has very intelligent. So they say.
So I think that there's more upside potentially with an alien. I think the AI would be kind of drab. I think that's a safer bet. But
Alien or
But the alien could be crazy.
the robot, but the alien could bring amazing technology, give us a new perspective on the universe and all that. I think that would be amazing for society. But he could be a huge dick and
He could
destroy
be a
us.
complete jerk.
AI, I think it's a safer bet. I'm going AI.
Denny's.
I say AI all day.
Can I explain why?
Well, because I feel the robot is probably, I'm sure there's a twist, but they're probably created by humans on our planet. So they're designed with just a black and white, this and that type of decision making.
Yeah,
Whereas,
their data is human data.
yeah, I feel if an alien came, you have no idea what they're.
It's a
they could
crapshoot.
be- They could have been driven off of their planet for being such a jerk.
And I'm only going on my psychic abilities, and I could be wrong here. I think Vickie's going to agree with me. I do not think robots the right way to go. I think aliens the way to go. But I want to hear Vickie's reason why.
I'm
And-
going aliens because the robot was made by humans. Humans suck. I'll take my chance with the alien.
And I could not have said that any fucking
What if he does
better.
garbage day? You have to eat garbage on that day. That's garbage day.
But the problem is we don't have a sample size on aliens. They could suck worse.
I'm going to go ahead
They
and
could easily suck worse.
I'll take
they,
my chance.
they could suck worse, but to Vickie's point, an all-knowing alien, intelligent, all that, you could program that shit to make it do what you want to do and have a whole agenda and make people think that it's just this cute little alien or a cute little robot. It doesn't really it's not biased at all. No, I think you could. If humans make it, I think it's figgity fucked. I'm taking my chance on the alien.
And the alien probably doesn't have a horse in the race. So you would think they might have the ability to be more objective, which the robot had to have been programmed by somebody who has an agenda.
I'm going alien, dog.
Yep.
I'm still
Sticking AI.
Yeah,
robot.
Denny's and Beckett are so wrong.
Alien is such a dice
Fucking
roll.
so fucking wrong.
There could be so many messed up things that Alien makes law.
Have you seen Independence Day?
Dog, I hate that movie.
Damn.
I don't hate it. I don't love it like everybody. It's good. It's all right. All right.
What if the alien came and they ate horses? That's what you had to feed it.
Or dogs.
We'd lose all horses.
And dogs.
Yeah, dogs. He goes, I'm tired of horses. I want dogs now.
All right.
You feel the same way if they eat dogs?
No, but what if that robot dick that you guys voted for, now all of a sudden, you know what? We need to eat children. It's better for America and the numbers.
It's not making those choices.
Numbers, children.
Oh, eating children? Now I might go robot.
Well, I got to tell you guys, I've had great fun. Thank you guys for tuning into the Weird and Whatever podcast. Does anybody have any final closing things?
I have something to say. I had a lot of people reach out. First of all, the KVJ Nation Weird and Whatever fans are the best. When I was sick, I had multiple people reach out to me, send me messages, hope you feel better. I ran a special on Saturday, and all the slots were filled, and I would say 95% mentioned the Weird and Whatever.
Love it. Vickie, if you want to plug and say if you want a psychic reading, what do we do?
If you want a reading, you can go on Facebook and find Readings by Vickie, Vickie, and send a message, or send me an email at nancy38drew@aol.com. And keep watching for specials. So go on and like the Readings by Vickie page because I'm running $20 specials.
I love it. Beckett, I mean,
all weekend.
Take it all in. Closing thought to the people.
I think I'm going to go on and get a session for my house.
You should.
Oh, yeah, you should.
We should. I think we definitely need to do a session here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, another session. And maybe we don't even have to release it. Maybe it just for more me and you getting some data.
Right.
Because I know if we release it, nothing comes up. People get very disappointed. I don't know. Maybe they want to see the process. Dennys, thoughts? Kind of just feelings about everybody.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I hope Becky gets a reading.
I love
putting you on my thoughts in general.
I love putting you on the spot. Great job, y'all. I want to do, it's time to feature our local artist. This is Andy Stryon. And if I am butchering your name, I apologize. It's ANDIISTYRON. And this is her song, In My Own Way. If you are a local musician, a songwriter, please send me your shit. I want to play it. I want to make sure we are highlighting local artists. Thank you guys for listening. This is Andy Stryon.
I cry to the wrong people, and I owe too many favors. I'm not sure if I mean it when I say I like my neighbors. If I feel some type of way, I blame it on the weather. I can leave on time, but for your peace of mind, it won't be sooner, I'll be later. Some say I have too many feelings, that I need to keep them in line. Since when was having any not okay and such a damn crime? I think all bad jokes are funny, and if you don't laugh, you know I will. I trust people way too easy, but thank God heartbreak can't kill. Oh, and I can let my hair down, but sometimes I can't let shit go. And if you ask me how I'm doing, chances are I don't really know. And if you call me up at midnight just 'cause you feel alone, can't promise to feel better, but I will pick up the phone. I've been bad, but I'm good on my own. Now listen, I guess I like sad people. I think I can fix them up. I need to make the same mistake 3 times before I realize it's enough. I'm shy until you know me, but if you know me, I'm too much. And if you give me choices, my mind will never be made up. No, and I can let my hair down, but sometimes I can't let shit go. And if you ask me how I'm doing, chances are I don't really know. And if you call me Love too hard and trip up what I say. Overthink too much and forget anyways. Feels like I'm always. I can let my hair down, but sometimes I can't let shit go. And if you ask me how I'm doing, chances are I don't really